3 reasons to eat more vegetables. 1, they're good for you. 2, meat prices are high. And 3, it's still springtime when some of the tastiest plants have just come into season. This Texan tummy ain't easy to fill with leafy greens, so lately I've been cooking Pasta Primavera at least weekly. I'm using that name as a blanket term for any dish with pasta and cooked vegetables as leading roles, by the way. Don't expect a concrete recipe here, but if you're looking to eat a big pile of veg without feeling like a salad muncher, give this a try. Cook a cup of dried pasta in salted boiling water according to the box instructions. Go with a long noodle like spaghetti if you want to be able to twirl your fork for more pasta and poke for more vegetables like a bite-for-bite control freak. Choose penne or rotini for a purely pokeable meal that eats like a warm pasta salad. Good for people who need the line between vegetable eating and pasta eating to be blurred. And one wild card, opt for gnocchi if you like a soft, pillowy pasta to complement tender, crisp plants. Cooking pasta just requires leaving it in hot, salty water so you can spend those 7-ish minutes prepping veg. The veggie choices here are wide open. I've done Pasta Primavera with only green vegetables for a monochromatic look, and I've done it with random scraps from the fridge in an effort to clean house. You'll have to pick which vegetables you want to cook, and you'll have to cut them according to the texture you wish to achieve. Here's what I mean. I like the flavor of zucchini, but I don't like how mushy and juicy the insides are compared to the outer skin. So instead of slicing coins, which would express that spectrum of softness in each piece, I'll dice mine into little pieces. Broccoli is a crowd pleaser, and it offers a variety of textures for you to choose from. You could shave off the outermost buds if you want it texturally imperceptible. You could cut the florets into medium-sized pieces if you prefer the broccoli's presence to be known. Or you could julienne the stalk into broccoli slaw. Cherry tomatoes present just as many choices. Some people are going to halve or quarter them, while some want a juicy pop in every tomato bite. Those who want to prioritize protein may add sliced mushrooms, but the one thing I'd advise you stay away from is anything delicate or leafy, since high heat does a real number on, say, spinach. I could spend 10 minutes just explaining how and why I'd select and slice every possible vegetable, but I'd rather show you what I personally do. I always add red onion or shallot, sliced thinly so it's not too in your face, plus something robust and chunky like young asparagus tips or halved sugar snap peas. These are 2 plants that come into season during the spring, so to eat them at their peak does feel like a bit of a celebration. I always have bell peppers, and so I always add them to this dish. Regardless of what you choose, there are 4 ingredients that should always join in. Some acid, like a lemon or champagne vinegar, 2 cloves of minced garlic, some chopped delicate herbs, and a hard cheese like parm or pecorino. If you're quick with a chef's knife, you'll be able to prep all this veg before the pasta even needs to come out of the water. So, in a pan of olive oil over high heat, add the produce. Not the garlic and the herbs yet, they're too delicate. Add salt, pepper, and an optional teaspoon of chili flakes. Stir everything around and pay attention to it. If the vegetables absorbed all the oil really quickly, consider adding some more. If they didn't make a loud sizzle, immediately crank the heat. After about 3 minutes, it'll be cooked but still crisp. So quickly stir in the garlic, herbs, and cooked pasta along with a little 1/4 cup splash of pasta water. The ratio of pasta to veg is up to you, but visually this is what I'm usually aiming for. I want both to cook together for a minute so that the residual pasta water starts to reduce, and while that happens, I'll grate a generous portion of cheese on top. Taste for salt before you add too much. Hard cheeses and pasta water are both salty enough to throw things out of balance. Cut the heat and squirt half a lemon over it before tossing one last time. To me, this is an excellent baseline everyday meal to keep in your back pocket. The dish has fiber, fat, whole foods, and it tastes like a celebration of the season. But here are 2 complaints that I could reasonably anticipate. First, I'd need 2 pounds of the stuff to satisfy my carnivorous stomach. Easy fix, add cooked chicken. Next, I really hate the taste of vegetables and I need them to be hidden even more than this. While my ideal Primavera feels light on the palate, some opt for adding a rich cream sauce that coats everything, and I'll link to a recipe for that in the description. If I didn't have to detail all the ways in which Pasta Primavera can be customized, this whole recipe would take 30 seconds to explain. Cook some pasta, slice some vegetables, and marry them together in an oily pan with garlic, herbs, and acid. Sorry for posting this at the very end of springtime, but I hope it motivates you to try it as soon as you can. Unless you're one of my many Southern Hemisphere viewers, in which case I did this on purpose. Bookmark this for September. Mate. Upside has paid to be mentioned at the end of this video. Upside is a money-saving app with a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. I use it mostly for gas, but you can use it for all sorts of purchases. As their rewards have broadened to pretty much everything, it's easy to see their value proposition as too good to be true. But it really is an easy-to-use app for getting cash back on the purchases that you already make. You sign up, check in when you're about to make a transaction, and then pay for stuff with your own debit or credit card as you normally would. Let's say that you have cashback rewards on the credit card that you used to make that transaction. The cashback that you get with Upside can be 3 times more than that. After you've piled up a fat stack, you can withdraw it to your bank account, PayPal, or a digital gift card for brands like Amazon. Download the free Upside app at upside.app.link/netshack to get at least $5 cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. I'm recording this at a time in which the prices of consumer goods keep rising by little basis points every day. Send those prices back down a few percent by signing up for Upside. The link is waiting for you down in the video description.